everyone, I'm Literary Freak 11, and I don't know why I'm taking all this on, but this is my TBR for the Book Junkies Book Trials 2019, and this read-a-thon has a lot of aspects to it, and I'm not going to go into that. Please just watch the announcement video in the description. And of course, once you get sorted, you'll need to go to your team leader's video in order to figure out what your special powers are. So mine are that I can start 3 days early as a mage. And so I actually have already read 2 books. I have read Skyward and I have read Library of Fates, but I'm just going to go through those 2 also. I'm trying to do all 17 prompts, and I don't know why. This is a bad idea. I'm just going to kill myself. Anyway, so without further ado, let's begin with the ones that are the mage prompts, and these I do have to read in order to follow my math. So the first one is Orc Grove, which is Turncoat. The prompt is to read something gritty or gruesome, and definitely Dresden Files. People take lots of beatings, get cut open, get murdered horribly. It's kind of low on the gruesome. There's not too much detail, but it definitely still counts. The next book that I'm going to go for is Old Pirate's Cove, which is to read a book that takes place at least in part on the water. So I'm going to be reading Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller. I don't know anything about this book. I do know that I really did enjoy Warrior of the Wild by her, so I'm hoping that this will be a short audiobook. The next stop on my journey is Glimmer, and this is a book that has a pretty cover, and I think Enchante has a gorgeous, gorgeous cover. I mean, look at this. You know, it's like the French flag, but then it's really also her hair. As you can see, the red is actually... Anyway, I just thought this was a really pretty cover, so I'm using it for Glimmer. The next stop is Dragon something or another, Dragon Isle, and basically you have to read a book that centers around dragons. So I picked Seraphina, and this is a book about dragons, pretty popular. Again, a lot of things for this read-a-thon will overlap with my TBR for the medieval-a-thon. I tried to get them to overlap, but this one actually has more prompts. I'm actually pretty nervous about this because basically once I announce a TBR, it is solidified. It cannot be changed. So for Crimson Peaks, these are the other team's prompts. These are not the ones that I have to do. However, I'm going to try to do as many of them as possible to get points for my team. So Crimson Peaks is The Alchemist. This is to reread a book. This is one of my favorite books, and it's about a boy who has this dream that he goes searching in the desert to find treasure, and it's about the people that he meets along the way and life lessons. It's very philosophical and beautifully, beautifully written, and it actually kind of follows an old parable commonly heard, but to tell you which it would be to spoil the ending, so I can't do that. The next book that, again, I already finished, Library of Fates, follows Queendom Stone, is the prompt, and basically it's to do something with royalty. In this book, the main character, Amarita, is royal, and when they get a visit from a foreign king who wants to make her his bride, and she doesn't want to, and so she ends up running away from the palace, and things get turned upside down. So again, relating to royalty, and I already finished this one. Took me a day. For a sequel, the next book that I have is The Subtle Knife, and this one I guess is a little bit cheating because I've read like 2 chapters, but that's barely anything. I'll probably have to reread them anyway just to remember. This is the Forgotten Forests, which is they sing laments to you until you pick up the next book in a series. So this is one of the only next books that I have to pick up, and so that's what I'm going to pick. Something really nice and short, quick read, because oh my goodness, do I have a lot of stuff to read this month. For Weeping Falls, I have picked I Am a Cat because I think that this will be a tearjerker because this cat is very lonely and it kind of just moves around Japan, kind of follows people's lives, and this book was written in 1904, I believe, and I've had this out from the library for so long. I just need to do it. The next thing that I have is the Great Library, and that is to read a book that has been on your TBR forever, and I've had this book on my TBR a couple of years, so I think it counts. Land of Stories. These kids open a fairy tale book that their grandma gives them, and they fall into it, and they have to go on an adventure for the wishing spell, and they're competing with an evil queen for it. Next book that I have is Dwarf Mountain, and that is to read a book with some romance in it. And so I have picked Serious Moonlight. I know that there's a romance between the main character and this guy Daniel, and so that's it. I'm not talking a lot about these books because they were listed on my other TBR that I made earlier, literally the day before I saw the announcement for the Book Junkie trials. The next book I have, Apothecary Tower, and that was basically to randomize all of the books that I have up here. This is my active TBR, and to pick one, and so I ended up with one more thing, and this is a book of really short stories, flash fiction, like most of them are only 2 pages, 2 to 5 pages, very, very short, and I kind of love that style of writing. I love being able to convey such an interesting story in such a short period of time. I found this in a box of books outside, and I'm actually really excited to read it. The next prompt that I have is Drowning Deeps, and that is for a book whose universe sucks you in. And I picked Skyward because I absolutely love this universe. The minute they started talking about the Krell, I wanted to know who they were, what they were battling. And I, again, finished this. This is a 500-page book that I finished in 2 days, and it was just so good. If you don't know, it's about a girl named Spinza whose dad tried to flee a battle and was shot down, and so she basically wanted to be a pilot like her dad in order to clear his name, but she runs into a lot of problems. People don't want the daughter of a coward to be a pilot. It's just such a good book. And Mbot, okay, and Doomslug. Doomslug is the best character. But there's also a quirky AI, and it's just such a wonderful book. Okay, so the next one that I have is Elven Guard, and this one is to read a book that has military or political intrigue, and I thought that Beneath the Citadel sounded like the right kind of book. I don't really know very much about this, though. Hallow Isles is to read something that's kind of has a horror theme, so I picked The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer, and this book is about a girl who wakes up not really remembering the last couple days, but there's this boy who seems to remember an awful lot about the last couple of days, and so she kind of is unraveling this mystery, and it is kind of a light horror slash thriller. The next book is The Giant Squid. Pick a book that is intimidating, and if you don't call this intimidating, it's like, yeah, over 700 pages, then I don't know what is. So that is the book that I have picked for Giant Squid. I'm going to be battling this thing. I doubt I'll finish it. And the last book that I have is The Empty Barrel, and read an indulgent book, and I just don't understand what that means. Like, I have no idea. So I just picked this. Because I'm indulging in a kind of book that's middle grade that I wouldn't normally read. I'm just going to get this done. Man, is my TBR intimidating. Okay, so 3, and then of course there's the group book, which is Stardust. I'm just gonna It didn't fall. Look at that. It's Stardust by Neil Gaiman, and I actually already listened to this as an audiobook. So my thing is that I have to do the journey first. So I have to do Turncoat, Daughter of the Pirate King, Enchante, Seraphina, and then Stardust as in that order, in order to win. Otherwise, it doesn't count. The other books doesn't matter. But those books do have to be in that order in order for my team to get the points. And so now that I have announced this, I cannot change it. Those are the rules. I have locked in my TBR. There's no switching, no swapping, nothing like that. So I hope that I succeed. I doubt that I will because this is too many books and only 3 of them are audiobooks, which is absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, I'll keep you updated about how this goes. I'm not going to do daily vlogs too much. Yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on social media, and I will be using Twitter to update my progress to fulfill prompts in this read-a-thon. There are side challenges, so definitely keep up to date on Twitter, and may Team Mage win!